Finally, the moment a couple of you have been waiting for.
It's all like bing bong, Jack.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Duval and St. Johns County. The show for Jag fans by Jag fans.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
Here are your hosts, Franklin and Michael how do you say it? DeZoba. Welcome to the Jaggernaut Podcast.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Another exciting adventure into two random Joes' opinions about
Where you going with this? Let's tighten it up. You're getting lost. Can't do that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Jaggernaut Podcast. Thank you for joining us. I don't know what the hell my brother was just doing there. I don't know where you're trying to be funny. Were you going to go somewhere with it?
No, I'm just going to go very mundane. Let's talk about what's going on. The real man.
All right, Frank, give me the real.
Talking about the Jags. That's all.
All right, well, give me the real, sir.
So, here's the real. We got 3 games in preseason in the books. We've got to see the team. We've got a sample size. It is preseason. 3 games in, and we are 0-3. Are you worried?
I am worried about something else much more than I am our record. Here's what I'm worried about. Am I worried that we're 0-3? The answer is no. It's preseason. I don't care.
Right.
I, however, am worried that our starting offense has not scored a touchdown.
Yeah, now that is.
Well, wait, then we got Evan Ingram, right? Which was sort of like a trick pick play.
Yeah, that's
so we
true.
did actually score a touchdown. So I'm not panicking. I'm not panicking, but I'm concerned with the red zone play or the fact of that we didn't move as comfortably as I thought. I thought we were the better team against Pittsburgh. If that makes sense. I know there's no what is it? There's
moral victory.
Moral victories in the NFL.
Well, in preseason, there kind of are. That's the thing. You kind of do give yourself the luxury.
It's funny. I thought Trevor had beautiful passes, and then I thought he had passes like, what the hell?
Yeah.
How could you not hit those outs? I don't understand. Now, I understand that out is a hard pass, but he's hit them before. So yeah. I don't know what's going on with them. As we've discussed in our Discord channel, it looked like some kind of a footwork issue, but there was no reason. There was nobody around. TJ Watt got 1 sack on him, and that was against your boy.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we've scored more points in these last 2 games with our starting offense than they scored probably in 2 games last year.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag, that's for sure. I think the one thing that it seems like we're able to do now is move the ball down the field. We just aren't able to score touchdowns when we get there, which isn't good for a team that, by the way, has kicker problems because we just released Giant Santoso and picked up.
He was a big boy.
Yeah. For a
big
kicker,
boy.
He's a big guy generally. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, but for a kicker,
230 or something stupid, 40, I don't know. But yeah, that'd be a cool story just to have a kicker that large. I think that's kind of cool, but we need a kicker that can kick field goals. That's kind of like their job. So, you need that when you can't score touchdowns. One thing I did notice about Doug Peterson, he said something, and this was before the Steelers game, in a press conference, because they did ask him about the red zone inefficiency. If you remember this was on the heels of the one of the days in training camp came out and they said the defense just annihilated the offense. They did red zone drills, and the offense just couldn't get anything going. And so the press asked him about that. And then they also, I think they asked him about it in terms of the preseason too. But he made a comment which made me think that they're not game planning. In other words, he's got plays that he knows are sort of high percentage the red zone plays. He's not using them.
Like the Evan Ingram. The Evan Ingram is exactly that type of play where you scheme to get one guy open with enough athleticism to score.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I'm not mistaken, in the Cleveland game, ETN might have scored had he actually caught the ball. So
yeah, that play too.
That's possible too. Now, I didn't see a lot of those in Pittsburgh. I don't think Trevor gave them the chance with missing the 2 out routes. It was on 2 different drives. They were both on 3rd downs. They were both wide open. As wide open as you get in the NFL. And Trevor can hit those. So I don't think he gave him a chance really. But I'm okay with it. Like I'm not panicking.
The one play that he hit or attempted to get to Marvin Jones in the end zone, that was weird play design. And it almost makes me think somebody ran a wrong route. Because
they were both,
This just seems strange. You don't tend to, we've seen that before with the Jaguars. So that's concerning to me if that's the case, because it doesn't seem like a good design if that's the way it's designed. And what do I know? But, there is this idea of spacing, and throwing the spots on the field. So,
so anyway, I'm not concerned because I think we're going to have a good season. Now, we may not have a winning season, but we're going to have a good season, a season where it looks like, barring any kind of catastrophic injuries, we are going to be able to step into the ring and go toe to toe with a lot of these teams. Well, and that's all I'm asking.
Yeah. And here's something that, I think is interesting too. We've sort of nibbled around this through past shows, the concept or past recent shows, this idea that based on personnel and assumptions about how they will be on the field, we kind of thought that the defense, first of all, they focused quite a bit in regards to the number 1 overall draft pick, free agent signings,
the number 2 draft line. Pick.
What's that?
The number 2 draft pick.
Right.
Chad Muma.
Right, exactly. So the line and the linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
The thinking is, to your point about good season, okay, we are in the AFC South. So the thought process for me was, on paper, this looks like a team that should be very difficult to run on. Now, the Raiders
Browns.
game,
the Browns,
that was bad, but ever since then, it's been pretty good. Except for the second string came in and they let some stuff go a few times. And that's concerning, but the starters, where they focus their energy, do seem, one, to be stopping the run, and they seem to be pretty active too in regards to pass rush. They also they weren't scheming in the sense of blitzing. They didn't bring anybody extra. Usually it was 4 guys going against the offensive line and winning. Now, against Pittsburgh, Cleveland looked out of sorts a bit. Pittsburgh is bad. Typically, they're known for not being that great of an offensive line, at least last year. So you got to temper that a little bit. So there are some good things. You can only play who you have on your schedule. And that looks to be a part of the team that could be a plus this year, which, if you think about it, has not been a plus for us in a long time. I mean, man, it feels like John Henderson and Marcus Stroud was the last time when we really had a defensive line of any sort of stoutness.
2017 was the last time
Well, that's an aberration. That's true.
we
That's
we
true.
had, now before that, the last time we
Feels
could
like that was
really
1 year
dominate.
though.
Yeah, and it was, but it was one hell of a year.
It was an
And
amazing year.
And it really was the last time we had a good defense.
Right.
So, we're not going to be Saxonville, but if we can stop the run
Yeah.
and put pressure there, that's going to help. I think Trevor in his second year, along with Doug Peterson, will help. I think during the season, and again, I'm a Trevor Lawrence guy, I think he's going to make that out route when we need him to make it more often than he won't.
Yeah.
So I'm not panicking. I wanted us to draft him. I was super excited when we got that a number 1 overall draft pick. And so far, I'm still excited. Again, I don't care if we win or lose. I care how we play the game. I don't want to lose. I don't want it to be a blowout in the third quarter and we're just sitting there taking pity shots.
Yeah.
Because, well, we don't have any other reason to take a shot.
Yeah, we're just trying to be competitive at this point, and that's all as a Jaguar fan. That's the reasonable expectation of a Jaguar fan. And in this preseason, the evaluation is did they put the pieces in place to do that? And so what about the wide receivers, since we're sort of talking about the red zone offense? And, it seems to me that Christian Kirk looked really good. He looked like,
Christian Kirk, what they said. Well, I told you in the clips that I seen, because we're not allowed out at training camp this year, but in the clips that I seen, the two guys who looked faster than everybody else, it was Christian Kirk and ETN. They looked like they had wheels and they were moving at a different speed than everybody else. When I saw Christian Kirk in that game against Pittsburgh, he looked to be at a different speed. And this is against another team. Now, granted, in case you didn't know, here we go. They're going up into Atlanta. They're going to be doing joint practices against Atlanta. We should get some good material coming out of there. I don't think they're going to be hitting until the game.
First, tomorrow they're hitting, actually.
Okay.
Well, yeah. No.
Okay.
Because they're putting a red jersey on Robinson so that he isn't hit. My understanding is that this seems weird to me, by the way, but I listened to the Peterson press conference.
Yeah, me too.
And what I remember him saying was they were going to hit full pads tomorrow and then shells the next day, and then like a light run through, walk through or separate. What he said, separate, which is weird. I don't know why you would separate your team when you brought them there. I guess 2 days is enough. I'm not really sure, but
yeah, I'm interested to hear and see a video of what happens, because I've seen it against Pittsburgh. I've seen it against our own dudes. If I see it one more time against, say, Atlanta, and Christian Kirk and Travis Etienne look like they're just a step faster, then to me, it is confirmed these two people on our team move faster than the other players on the field. And I like that.
Yeah, Etienne, the jury's still out a little bit for me. At the running back position, though, it's a bit of a feel. They tend to wind in, they start slow a lot of times, get going. You can't really do that usually in the preseason. So I'm hopeful that ETN can become, a consistent, because he's definitely not hitting holes exactly like you'd want. Although he does look very fast. I think we're basically couching that in terms of he's coming off of an injury. So
I thought he got better. The Cleveland game, he wasn't all that impressive. He had one good run. But then in the Pittsburgh game, I thought not only did he have several good runs, but I thought he made a little bit more out of the opportunities he had. His stats didn't blow you away, but if I'm not mistaken, man, there was one play where he was a shoestring tackle away. If he would have got out there, Frank, you would have been like, okay, that dude is moving at a completely different, nobody would have called.
Yeah. And that's the type of running back that he is. He's one of those ones where you're going to have to live with some of the, the problems that I'm seeing, but he's going to bust those big ones every now and again. that's going to change defensive coordinators and linebackers. That's going to change some things on how they're
playing us. Yep.
Yeah. What's disappointing me again is Snoop Connor. There was another play I saw where I felt like, man, what are you doing? Just plant your foot a little bit and go the other direction. Why are you running Operation Butt Crack? That's not the game plan.
I have not been impressed with Snoop Connor. A lot of the local media guys here are absolutely in love with him, and they can't really show me why.
Love started early. I don't know. To me,
I would love for them to tell me why. What are they seeing? Because I'm not seeing it in the game.
I don't know.
Yes, some of them are out there on the field looking at practice. I'm not. But
they got me hopeful, and then I don't want to repeat myself, because I've mentioned this before, but my hope was that we could slow walk Robinson back. I fear on Robinson. I just don't, I just want to make sure he's healthy for the playoff run.
I love how you snuck that in. Woo!
All right,
very nice. A
little sarcastic, but you never know. I mean, this is
anything could happen.
It's just a smart play, honestly. And I just don't want them to rush him back. And if Snoop came out looking really good, they'd be all the more happy not to do that. So let's talk about Walker Little and Javon Walker.
Jawan Taylor.
Jawan Taylor, sorry.
Man, you're ever since that playoff thing, you're in the clouds. Let's refocus. We need to pull you back.
Okay, so Jawan Taylor's looking better than Little, I think.
That is correct. I agree.
That's unfortunate, but I think
now I heard though down there is that they want and have given Walker Little every chance to win that job, and he has not seized it. So to me, Jawan Taylor is your starter. I don't care if you like Little. I don't. He did not win the job. He was almost given that job, and he lost it.
He wasn't given the job. It wasn't like the coach.
I didn't say the coaches.
Yeah. He had the.
But when he got hurt, but when he got hurt, that was his opportunity, and he didn't seize it. So to me, Jawan Taylor's your starter. Boom.
Yeah, but
put it in.
Here's what I'm going to say. I think although Little has played better, Taylor has played better than Little in recently. I would say that we're still talking slightly better. Remember, he did get beat by TJ Watt. It's not like we're talking about.
But he still got beat. Got beat, and Taylor played against TJ Watt too.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Look, I don't know. I don't have a hate for either one. I don't have a love for either one. Here's what I want. I want the best man to start. Right now, to me, the best man is Jawan Taylor.
Yeah, and I think no matter what happens, I think you'd say that, because if they started Little, I'd be fine with it, just because I think they think it's so slight, the difference, that they want to make sure that they get Little into the lineup.
But you know what happens if we can see it, right? The players can see it, and if the players say that this guy has earned the starting job and he's not starting, well, then it's politics.
Oh, you think? But do you think it's that big of a deal?
I think it does matter. I think it most certainly matters.
I don't know. Here's the deal. I see Walker Little getting upfield to make run blocks faster than I see, which is interesting because I thought Little would be better. See, I think potentially Little is going to be the better pass blocker. I think actually right now,
he's
Little
the better
run blocker. Which is weird to me.
I don't know. I just know he was given the opportunity and he didn't take it. And my eyes is telling me that Jawan Taylor, even by the smallest margin, is the better right tackle. We want the better guy out there. It doesn't matter who that guy is. We want the best one. To me right now, Taylor's the best one.
So does Devin Lloyd play?
I think he better. I think
he's our starter. Have you heard that? He's starting.
No, he's not starting. Again,
People are still talking like it is. Yeah,
because people don't understand. These guys see Chad Muma every day lining up, playing with the ones. They see him in the game making plays. Chad Muma's done nothing to lose this job. And I understand the argument. Well, Lloyd was drafted higher. That's their argument. Okay. My argument is,
I don't care about that argument.
Here's my argument. Muma's got more NFL experience. There. Who do you start?
And I'm all for Devin Lloyd playing, but
so am I. I
not
have
right
nothing,
now. And
I have nothing against Lloyd. I have nothing against Lloyd. The dude bombed a huge Duval. Dude, that endeared him to me. I'm like, hell yeah. But the guy hasn't played. Like, no offense to him. No offense. Maybe he overtakes, just his natural ability overtakes Muma a few games in.
Muma's showing natural ability too. That's the thing. Where
So,
it comes to
yes.
like, why are we acting like, and I wouldn't even be shocked if they did, but I'd be scratching my head a little bit. I'm shocked that people just assume that's what's going to happen. I guess that's the biggest thing for me. It's like they just assume, well, Lloyd's got to get in the lineup because he's going to be starting. It's like, he's a rookie. He hasn't even played. How's he starting?
Yep.
It's crazy to me. But
yeah,
let me get, since we're negative on the defense, let me throw some negative.
We're not being negative. We're being honest.
Slightly negative. Well, we're not negative on the defense, but since we're focused on the defense,
okay, there we go.
And we're being negative toward people who are, you know,
who are on the defense,
who have a different opinion than we do.
Okay.
I looked at that. You know, I went back and watched some of the footage there, and although I like the pass rush, I gotta say this: Josh Allen looks slow to me. He was not jumping off the line fast. I'm hoping that changes, but I was really sort of blown away by the fact that there were times. So I'd go through the video and I'd pause. You know, there were times when there were like other defensive linemen up the field, and he's still at the line of scrimmage. The tackle's already getting back set. Where are you at? Why are you not upfield? Like, if you watch TJ Watt, instantly shot out of a cannon when he's the first one of the defensive linemen upfield. That's got to be Josh Allen. The other thing, Olakun. I saw some plays from him. I'm like, this is a guy that was leading the league in tackles. I saw in that preseason, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say, I'm just saying things to watch out for. As good as I thought the defense played, man, it could have been even better. I thought Olakun got out of position, missed tackles. Caleb Chason lost cause. He's missing tackles. He's slow. He's gone to me. Just like
thank you for coming over to my way of thinking.
He made one really good play, but if you go back and you look at the other stuff, it's like, man, what are you doing?
What are you doing? There was a not a cross. I forgot what they called it. Yeah, there was a stunt between him and Walker, right?
Yeah, I know which play you're talking about.
Dude, he gets washed all the way down the line, and I'm like, you were supposed to actually go in here. Now I understand maybe why you couldn't, but right after that, right by the center, I thought there was an opening. And I'm like, dude, dive through there. I don't understand what you're doing.
They're bringing
Jason's a lost cause.
They're bringing Trayvon Walker inside now on times, and then they're just playing around, see what they can do, and they're putting Chase on in Walker's position, kind of like a third down pass rush situation. Walker played great in the middle, by the way, but yeah, where's Chase? What was Chase on doing? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, I'm not here to bash. I just want to point out some things that I think need to get ironed out.
Here's what we
game I saw him play. I don't think he played. This is the first one, so I was
he didn't play against Cleveland.
Yeah, I was kind of looking for him to see how he looked, especially since we're talking about Muma and Lloyd. Like, what's up? You know, Olakun by far led the league in tackles last year and got a big contract from us.
Actually, I think he did play for Cleveland. I think he did play a series or two versus Cleveland.
Okay. You might be right about that. But he hasn't jumped out at me very much. And the secondary's played pretty good for the most part, I think, too. But yeah, I mean, just wanted to throw some of those out there.
But yeah, again, look, we either need to trade or we need to cut Chase on, because I think we have defensive guys who are better than him. And somebody's gonna say, but he's a linebacker. What if we cut him? We brought in Devin Lloyd off the edge. Devin Lloyd blitzed very well in college.
Yeah.
So we move Walker in front, and then we bring in Devin Lloyd to where we would bring in.
I wouldn't cut him unless we definitely know there's somebody there that we like better. What do you?
I think there is. But.
Okay, and maybe so. So, what did you think of the fact that they got canned Malcolm Brown?
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it, but I don't. It's interesting. It's intriguing to me because he, I understand he wasn't a starter anymore, but he played really well for us last year. My understanding is he came in camp and he wasn't the same guy at all. It just makes me wonder. So I get why he was cut, but I just how does that happen? Because the Malcolm Brown of last year would be great in that rotation. We're kind of slight on nose now.
Yeah,
I mean, 3-4. Latulele is going to be the. Not exactly.
Dude, I mean, I'm with you. But all reports are he lost that fire.
Yeah,
all the reports. We can't
just,
see it, but all the reports are the guy's lost his fire.
How did he play with fire for Urban Meyer? But this team, and maybe it has nothing to do with that. It's just something that we should talk about. We're on the defensive line. It would be great if we had Malcolm Brown from last year. I get why they got rid of him because, you're not going to pay a guy and keep a guy around when he's just not the same player. Yeah. But the point, something else, I mean, I have brought up that Israel Antwine guy. He does, have you locked into that guy yet and gone back and looked? I think it's 93 is his number. He's pretty good, man. He's pretty stout. My guess is they probably looked at that guy and they said, okay, this is a guy that's going to be in the rotation. So we can make that move. What about what is it? LaJuan Williams?
Lawan Winningham,
yeah.
I liked him. I heard good things about him. I didn't get to see a ton of him. Hopefully he makes it past. Hopefully we were able to put him on the practice squad. I think if he clears waivers, that's exactly what's going to happen.
My thought is that's what they're trying to do. That there hasn't been a lot on him. He's a jar on the shelf. They think he's got some skill. I don't think they can use him. If they put him on the roster, I don't think they imagine themselves putting him in the starting.
I don't think so. Here's the deal. I don't think he's beat Laquan Treadwell. I think Laquan Treadwell is your 5th or 6th wide receiver, and I don't think he's beat him. Now, Chenault.
Does this mean Chenault makes the team?
I think if I can find a trade partner for Chenault, he's almost like Kason, but I don't mind having him. I would keep an extra receiver if it's him, if I couldn't find a trade guy.
He's not like Chason because Chenault has had moments.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm more comfortable keeping him and having 6 wide receivers so that I can keep him because I can't find a trade partner. Yeah. Whereas Chason, I'm done with. At the end of this, if I can't find somebody to take him, I'm cutting him. I'm washing my hands of this guy. A lot of people like him. I hear he's a good dude. But sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if maybe Peterson looks at him as sort of like an Alshon Jeffrey, not quite like that. Almost Treadwell's almost like Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, size-wise.
Yeah. I just wonder if Peterson's got, plans for him. I could also see, as crazy as it sounds, because we're talking about a team that has 2 running backs that are on injury, and a rookie in their backfield and nobody else that they really, at least at this point, think are, great running backs or, but I almost wonder if Chenault fits into the running back room in some way. Like, they feel like Chenault makes the squad because he's almost like in the same way Agnew's wide receiver, but I don't even really figure Agnew in the wide receiver camp per se, because he does all these other things. You almost just provide a special slot for Agnew. And then I wonder if they look at Chenault similarly.
I can see them going 5 wide with Chenault and bringing him back into the backfield, forcing the defense into dime and trying to run out of that formation. I can see that. And that might work here or there.
Hey, why wouldn't that work with ETN though?
I think it could. I think it very well could.
Just interesting, because Chenault had so much great expectation going into last year. And obviously, everything happened then. And
I've heard though.
I wish you'd see more from him.
And he did sort of look slow.
He's always looked slow though. That's the thing. It's not like, there's certain styles of players, and he's a different style. Look, Chenault is not that much smaller than Evan Ingram. He just isn't. Like, he's an inch smaller, shorter, and he's like 15, 20 pounds less, maybe not even that. So, now Ingram's he's a smallish tight end. So, but that's the point. Like, here you've got a receiver. Everybody is wide receiver. How many wide receivers you gonna keep? Well, here's a guy who almost fits wide receiver, running back, and tight end. So, maybe you do.
Don't say it.
You keep him just because he checks a lot of boxes.
We don't have any offensive weapons. We don't have that. Okay. That you can't say that term around here, sir.
Yeah, those don't work out. I would never do that to Chenault. I want him to work out.
But yes, I think he can be a bit of a gadget, Swiss Army type guy, but you have to know how to use him correctly, and he's got to catch the ball.
Everybody's having that problem, or has had that problem.
Yeah, at one time or another. So, hey, as long as they do it when the chips are down and we need it, then I'm okay. But, if it starts to be an issue again this year, I'll be looking to deal them.
Yeah, I mean,
we got Atlanta. We got Atlanta. We're not starting any of our starters. So watch, all of you people who believe that Lloyd is going to start just because he's Lloyd and because he was drafted higher than Muma. Watch when Lloyd plays against Atlanta and Muma doesn't. You know what that tells you? That tells you day one, Muma's our starter.
I don't think it tells you that.
I think it tells you that. I don't think any of our starters play in this game.
Well, no, I know that. I understand that's true, but I would imagine that if Lloyd hadn't been hurt all this time, he would be one of those not playing as well. The fact that he has, if he's ready to go, I think the fact that he's finally ready to go means they just want to give him some action, because you just said it. He hasn't had it yet. He needs it. And that's the thing.
And I can see that, but without actually playing starter versus starter, I think Muma has the edge right now. Now, can week 3, week 4, can Lloyd overtake him because of his natural athletic gifts? Sure, of course he can. Because by then he's well into the season. By then, maybe he's gotten in as a backup on a few plays. So by then he knows the speed of the game a little bit better. Okay. But right now, Chad Muma should be the starter. It should not be Devin Lloyd week 1.
Yeah, and I think the point you made about Chason's a good one. Chason's had he's had an opportunity at this point. And I'm not even saying we cut him, but Devin Lloyd is what Chason was supposed to be. So, or we haven't seen it, we're assuming, but if that's the case, so in other words, if they're going to take Walker and they're going to move him inside for some speed package, NASCAR package, whatever you want to call it. I would much rather see Devin Lloyd line up at outside linebacker instead of Caleb Chase on at this point.
I agree.
Caleb going to have to play special teams and just be a backup until he can. And if something happens, then maybe he gets a shot back in the lineup and does something. But until then,
I don't know. Doing the numbers, I don't see a spot on 53 for Chase.
Chase on.
Yep. Now maybe if it was 60, maybe if it was 63, you could find one of those spots.
I like that you went out that way because it'd be good to see if that happens. So I like that you threw out a controversial viewpoint. I don't know if it's controversial, but
I think for some people it is controversial. Some people like him for some reason.
I just think the thing is you don't want to give up on a guy too early. And you also want draft picks to work out. And you hate the idea of here's another one, you know.
Look, I'm not gonna say his name, but you know who he is. And for years I was against him. And for years we kept him for no reason. I don't want to see my ball club do that again. I have seen all I need to see from him.
Well, especially if it means getting rid of somebody like Quarterman.
We can't make him better. I don't think we can make him better. So therefore, just let him go. Maybe he'll get with the right team, right situation, right defensive coach, and then maybe he can get it working. And I do wish him the best if that happens. Because like I said, I heard he's a really good dude, you know, and you want those guys to work out, but it just doesn't happen sometimes.
Right.
All right. So we got Atlanta 3:00 on Saturday. Who's winning? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, it's got to be Atlanta, right? Because none of our starters are playing. And the only thing that's been good in this preseason has been our starters. So
our backups have been atrocious.
Yeah, they've led us to an 0-3 record.
So yeah, we have NFL caliber
perfection in the preseason,
and then we have nothing. That is what we got: NFL caliber and nothing. We have nothing in the middle.
Yeah, that's got to change, man. We got to get this. It kind of. Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say, hopefully that doesn't mean anything in regards to our starters, but it doesn't necessarily. And I just, we got to get to a point where we become a team where we've got a bunch of jars on the shelf.
Yeah.
Other teams are like that. That they get things moving.
But generally, those teams have been better longer.
Yeah.
You have to be good for a little while to do that, to get those jars on the shelf. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, Duval. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like, subscribe, share button. Tell your friends. Woo.
Comment.
Yeah. Yeah, comment, please.